Hello everyone, welcome back to RC Robotics. My name is Carl, and in today's video we're taking a look at Simple Planes VR. This is literally just came out yesterday. In the UK it came out around about 1 PM in the afternoon on App Lab. I was actually searching for it on the Oculus Quest store, but no, you've got to go through App Lab to find the game. The best way to find the game, if you can't find it through App Lab, just go straight to the simpleplanesvr.com website, and they've got a link that'll take you straight to the App Lab where you can download the game. I bought it for £5, I think, but that's because Oculus Quest had a little sale going on and there was 30% off. So, but the price of it was around about £7. It was, but it's absolutely worth all the money. So let's just jump in this. I think this is a Renegade. It's actually titled Sea Duck. So let's take it out on Wright Airport and take it for a fly. One of the main things that I've noticed in the game straight off the bat, how quickly things load. You just ask it, I want to go to this airport, and boom, it's a couple of seconds and you're there. There's not a lot of time waiting around for it to load. It's not a huge game. The graphics aren't amazing, but what I'll show you in a minute, this makes up definitely for the graphics not being amazing. They're not, they're not terrible. They're just not very, very crisp. There's not a lot of textures, but I'll show you what makes up for that, because this is amazing. So basically we have a huge amount of interaction with the cockpit. You can literally switch any switch on. Sometimes they do something, sometimes they don't. It all depends on down to the builder. Sometimes they're labeled and sometimes they're not. But it's just fun to play around with some switches. So this is our throttle up here. We've also got our trim for our elevator, so you can trim if you want nose pitch up or pitch down, and then you can reset your trim. A nice double-handed yoke, which you can use both hands or just one hand. Absolutely fantastic. This is our throttle here, so enough jibber jabber. Let's put full throttle and let's go down the runway and take off. Now I remember I've just hit the ignition button, so it'd be a good idea to turn our engine back on. There we go. The engine is alive. We're moving. It's a very sluggish plane to get going. The old Sea Duck. And there we go, airspeed is alive. Now all of these gauges work. Fantastic. I've been waiting for this game to come out for around about a year, or whenever it is. I think, was it August last year that they announced it? And I've just been basically checking Google every single week, just saying when's Simple Planes VR release date coming out. And it turned out it was yesterday. And look how smooth that takeoff is. Fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and put our gear up. Improve the aerodynamics. There's the flaps. I didn't put the flaps down. So as you can see, if we let go of the controls, our nose will dip. So we'll level off the nose again, and then we can pull on the trim, and then we can sit hands off then. There we go. As you can see, fantastic. And using the buttons on the controllers, you can also cycle through. You can cycle into a different seat. You can sit in the co-pilot seat if you like. There you go. Look at that. And this is one of my favourite things. You can reach across and you can interact with everything from any seat. So this is the passenger seat, and using the thumbsticks on the controllers you can still control the aircraft, so you can see what it's like to be a passenger. And the Sea Duck is exactly what it says. It is a Sea Duck. It's a seaplane. So if we cycle, wow, fantastic. So if we cycle back into the pilot seat, because this is where we want to be, we're the pilot. Let's pull the throttle down a little bit of flap. Let's do a very high rate of descent towards the water, and I will show you, you can actually land on the water. We'll just check. Our undercarriage is up, because we don't want to rip the undercarriage off when we hit the ocean. And I don't think we'll come to a complete stop. What we'll do is we'll just drop it down onto the water, and then we'll take back off again. We'll touch and go on the water. Here we go. Kiss the water. Kiss the water. There we go. We're down on the water, full power again. We want to see our airspeed alive. Airspeed is alive. Wait till it's in the green. A little bit more flap. And rotate. the nose off the water. That's a slow rate of descent, or slow rate of ascent. Okay, let's go land back at the airport, and I think we'll go on the main menu, and we'll pick out some of my favourite planes. We'll go through both the basic planes, and I'll show you some of my favourite community planes from the internet. Now, I have asked John Drew Games myself, if you buy the other game, if you buy Simple Planes on PC or the app, if you build a plane, can you upload it to the VR? And I haven't got an answer yet, but I'm pretty sure we'll find that out in the next couple of days. But if that is the case, if you can download the app and build your own planes and then upload them to the internet and then play them in VR, that would be absolutely fantastic. As far as I know, there's no online play for this game yet. Hopefully that will be coming very, very soon, because this is an absolutely fantastic game, and I would imagine playing with, you know, playing with people online will be absolutely amazing. So here's another one of my favourite aircraft, the Gator, that actually obviously looks like a Huey, and we have a bush plane which obviously looks like a Super Cub. We've got P-51s, and this plane here. This is one of my favourite planes, the twin-engined propeller plane, if you like, and a Harrier, which is also VTOL. So we'll, I think we'll have a quick look at the twin-engined propeller plane. And this is fantastic. See how quick it loads? Just straight away. So, cockpit right, left passenger, right passenger. Now, do we want to be in the left seat or the right seat? I think we want to be in the left seat, because the oh, I see, all the controls are mirrored in this. Fantastic. So there's our throttle, but as you can see, the engines aren't going yet. So we've got engine 1 and engine 2, and this is one of my favourite things about this, because there's a start sequence. So we'll get that one going. And engine 2. Now, what I'm going to do when we get in the air with this aircraft is a little homage to a man called Bob Hoover. Now, if you're not familiar with who Bob Hoover is, Bob Hoover is an absolute legend. He's an amazing pilot, and he's well known for escaping a prisoner of war camp, and he's also famous for robbing a Fokker plane out of enemy lines. And one other thing he's also famous for is flying an Aero Commander twin aerobatic plane. Well, it's not an aerobatic plane, it was actually a passenger commuter plane. But one of the things he did was turn off the engines in mid-flight and do some aerobatics. So I think that's what we're going to try now. Now, one of the main scary things he did, he used to turn off the one inboard engine. Obviously, you only got 2 engines. And then he used to turn into that inboard engine, which is something you really don't want to do on a normal flight, never mind doing aerobatics. So I don't think we'll try and turn into the engine, because I reckon I'm going to crash. But what I am going to do is turn off, should we turn off engine number 2, our right engine? And Bob's philosophy was, as long as you've got enough airspeed, the aircraft should fly no problem. And as you can see, I'm not putting any extra rudder in. It is wanting to list to the right a little bit. And as you can see, there's our right engine shut down, and left engine at full power. We're 160 knots, so let's try a roll. To roll into the engine, keep the nose in the air, that's what you want to do. Oh. Ooh. Having some tracking issues. I'm sure that's my headset. The cameras need a good clean. We'll restart that engine. That was scary. And also another thing Bob Hoover used to do is shut both engines off completely and do a full aerobatics. Now, I don't think the airspeed on this plane is, you know, as good as Bob's Aero Commander. So we'll leave that for today. And I'm quite happy with just going inverted with one engine shut down. Let's go. We did put our gear down, didn't we? I think. I hope. We're about to find out if we did. Gear up. Gear down. Extending landing gear. Right. I think that's why we nearly stalled then, because the The landing gear was down. Greaser. And the physics, the actual physics of the game, like that, when you're braking, the wheels catching, and it's when you brake, it doesn't come to a complete stop. It sort of squirms and things like that. That's what makes up for the graphics not being amazing. Now, just let me point out, when I say they're not amazing, they are good enough. They are good enough for the price that you pay for the game. They're good enough for playing the game. They're just not amazing to other Oculus Quest games. But, for what makes up for it is the dynamics of the game, the actual flight dynamics and the actual, aircraft dynamics. That when you crash, things it doesn't just say, oh, you've crashed. Things break off. Things break off, and you can either carry on flying, or if it's a critically damaged plane, you definitely can't carry on flying. And I'll show you one of my favourite vehicles. No, helicopters. It's in the helicopters. And when I seen this, I blew up. I can't believe I get to fly one of these in VR. An AH-1V Cobra, my favourite helicopter of them all. Cobra attack helicopter. Let's take this for a fly in VR, and I'll show you the amount of interaction you can have with this helicopter. Now, the one thing I do notice right off the bat when you spawn this helicopter is you'll just see our gun has just fell off. I don't know why that happens, it just does. Maybe the gun's too heavy to fit on the helicopter, but you can't take that minigun with you, unfortunately. It just sits at the end of the runway. But here we go. This is the back seat, this is the pilot seat. We also have chase view, have orbit view, so when this will stay in one piece and it won't chase the helicopter will turn and its orientation will change. And the co-pilot, now this isn't the co-pilot because you can't really pilot the helicopter from here, but this is basically the navigation or the weapons pilot. So we've got arm nose cannon, which is right there, and as you can see, that's the nose cannon that fell on the floor. Countermeasures, they're flares, we'll get them going when we're in the air. TGT mode, I'm not sure what that is. We'll mess about with it when we're in the air. So let's get the engine started. Oh, where's my engine? What are all these? Engine, there we go. Cockpit light. There is no cockpit light at the moment. I wish there was, because when the night cycle goes on, you can't really see anything in the cockpit. Arm nose cannon, we've already done that. Sight, I want to put my sight down so we've got as much free roam as possible. Collective's nice and easy to get to. Okay, cyclic. And as you can see, the blades change pitch. But they don't just change pitch, they change pitch correctly with proper physics, as in, so when you put the stick forward, gyroscopic precession is real in this game. The pitch changes over there instead of at the back, like most people would think a helicopter would do. Let's lift some collective and take off on this Cobra. Very nice. And that's another thing I will show you with the physics. Just try and get straight with the runway. Okay, let's start going forward a little bit. So as you can see, there was a little bit of this wobbling. That's because I picked up too much collective at this one time. And as you can see, you can actually slow down the rotor head speed by lifting up too much collective at one time. So we've got enough power now because we're already in the air. But you will see, if I pull down a little bit of throttle, you can actually slow the rotor head speed down. And what that does is if your cyclic is a little bit too twitchy, you just pull a little bit of throttle off the blades, pull a little bit of speed off the blades, and yeah, this is fantastic. AH-1 Cobra. I love this game. I'm very impressed with Jundru Games. I'm glad they didn't rush the game, and there's a few little bugs that I have noticed in it, but that's not really down to them rushing the game. That's just, it's a new game. New games do have bugs. It's never going to get rid of that. Fantastic. I absolutely love this helicopter. Let's do some out views. So then you control it with your thumbsticks when you're outside of the helicopter. And as you can see, the blades, the swash plate moves, the little fins at the back move. Let's do some backwards flying. Amazing. Didn't want to do that, didn't want to do that. Okay. Let's take control of this aircraft properly before we end up crashing it. And let's see if we can put it down nice and gently, down there over the terminal. We don't want to go over by the terminal. There we go. So I have flown radar-controlled helicopters, so you may be seeing that I may be making it look easy. I'm not sure. This seems very, very familiar to me. Collective on the right-hand side, cyclic on... Sorry, collective on the left-hand side and cyclic on the right-hand side. You don't have to really worry about your tail because you just use that on the thumbstick with your pedals. But, you know, if you can't get the hang of the helicopters, just keep practicing. You will get the hang of it eventually. Can we shut our engine down? And then I'll just show you this before we go back to the main menu and pick another plane. The rotors are slowing down. Maybe that's something I haven't tried yet. I wonder if we can auto-rotate. Let's try if we can auto-rotate. Is the engine back on? Engine's back on. We're at full power. Take off. Okay, I'm going to try an auto-rotation. I haven't tried it yet. I didn't even think that you can independently control your collective and you can independently control your engine power. So, theoretically, I should be able to shut my engine down, or this is basically the clutch. It says throttle, but it's not throttle, it's clutch engagement, because there is a certain point where you pull it back and it just doesn't engage the rotors anymore. So, we'll line up with the runway, get some decent speed, because we want to feather the rotor. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to try an auto rotation. Here we go. Negative pitch, pulling off power to the rotor blades. That was a definite wallow in the tail there because there's no more torque anymore. Rotor blade speed seems to be there. Oh, overspeeding rotors. What? We're overspeeding the rotors. And I'm controlling my descent with the collective. We've still got plenty of rotor speed. We're still moving though. We don't want to be moving this fast. You can put the skids down. Oh. Right. So I've crashed. I've crashed, but it seems that auto-rotation is capable in this helicopter. So let's go back to the main menu and we'll pick one more aircraft. What's another aircraft we can pick that is fun and it's not something we've shown? I suppose let's go for the Vertigo, because when I seen this, this basically sold the game for me, because one of the reasons I bought an Oculus Quest, if you haven't heard already, is because I wanted to play VTOL VR. And then when I got the Oculus Quest, I realised that VTOL VR isn't standalone for the Quest. You have to buy a gaming PC for it. I always wanted to play, you know, a VTOL game in VR, and here we are. Simple Planes VR has basically a Harrier jump jet, which allows you to change your VTOL angle. Where's the dial? Oh, there we go. VTOL 0%, VTOL 100%. So our jet blasts are now facing down. And we also have stabilizers. Where's the stabilizer? Trim reset. We want to reset our trim. Jettison weapons. No, we don't want to do that. There was a stabilizer, I'm sure there was. VTOL on or off. Formation lights. Fuel probe. Wow, there's a fuel probe. I forgot there's in-air refueling in this game. Canopy. You can open up the canopy. This is the landing gear, VTOL in there. Okay, let's go. and we're flying VTOL in a Harrier jump jet in VR. Fantastic. Wow. This absolutely sold the game for me. And then you can slowly creep your throttle forward, remembering to pull back on the elevator a little bit. Keep your nose steady with the rudder. Add a little bit of power. Or not a little bit of power, but move the jet nozzles back a little bit. On our landing gear up now. And let's go full forward. And there we go. Harrier jump jet and full forward flight from a VTOL takeoff. Amazing. There's that big ducted engine. And the jet, the feeling of flying is absolutely intense. It's incredibly immersive. Even though the maps aren't, you know, the terrain graphics aren't amazing, the maps are huge and they give you plenty of space to fly around. There we go. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it for there. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and try VTOL, if you want to go ahead and try Simple Planes VR, go ahead and try it. It's, you will not be disappointed for the price that they're banging it out on the Oculus Store. Or not, sorry, not the Oculus Store, but the Apple App Store. Just go ahead and get it. It's only £7. And yeah, it's absolutely amazing. All these aircraft. And I didn't show you. I guess I should show you just before I go, actually. We'll see what happens when I crash. There's the plane. There's what's left of the plane. Thank you very much for joining us again at RC Robotics. If you do like this content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It is just up there in the corner. And if you'd like to see any more of my videos, I'll pop one down here and another just down here. Thank you again, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.